What I love about flies is that they are the underdog, and everyone roots for the underdog. They've got a really bad reputation and people think they're annoying and a nuisance, but they do some of the most important roles in our ecosystem that we take for granted. I'm Dr. Bryan Lessard, aka Bri the Fly Guy, and I work at CSIRO's Australian National Insect Collection. We have over 12 million insect specimens. As a kid, I was never really interested in flies, to be honest, but it wasn't until I had a really passionate lecturer in my undergrad that talked about forensic entomology, and that's when I was hooked that insects can be used to solve crime. Blowflies can lay their larvae in a corpse, and they're generally really accurate indicators of the minimum time since death. I get a real buzz out of describing new species of flies. It's great going through the insect drawers here at CSIRO and finding new species. I've been lucky enough to name and describe 18 new species of flies from Australia and New Zealand. So here's the first species I ever described. So I wanted to do something a little bit special. It had a bright golden abdomen, so I thought it was pretty bootylicious. So I named it after Beyonce. So here is Plynthena beyonce, the horsefly. This generated a fair bit of publicity that I did not see coming, and people were talking about flies in the media and just having a conversation about why flies are important. And it even went on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and it landed on the front page of the New York Times. Maybe not the front page, but... Flies are really amazing pollinators. Here's one species of Grevillea that's from Canberra, and here's an example of one of the bee fly pollinators. It's also from Canberra. And when the bee flies go in for a drink from the flower, their hairs get covered in pollen and cross-pollination occurs. Studies have shown that flies can actually carry twice as much pollen on them than the honeybee. It's because they're generally hairier. Believe it or not, but these are all flies. It's a great way of showing you the biodiversity of flies, or as I like to call it, fly-diversity. So this one you might think's a cricket, but it's actually a robber fly. And these catch things on the wing and can inject them with venom. And then we also have a tupulid, which isn't a mosquito. It doesn't actually have any piercing mouth parts, so it won't cause any damage. And then we have this funky-looking thing that is a hammerhead fly. And the larger the antlers in the males, the more likely you are to win the respect of the female.
Hello.
And we also have these little guys called Dechynids, or as I like to call them, little Christmas ornament flies, because they look like something you put on your Christmas tree. And they're actually really cool in biocontrol too, because the larvae can actually eat caterpillars from the inside out. I'm currently working on a group of flies called soldier flies, and they haven't been researched for 100 years. The adults are completely harmless and don't actually transfer any disease, so you don't have to worry about them getting on your food and making you sick. The adults don't actually eat, and they only last a couple of days. So the larvae is where all the exciting action's happening. They are eating machines. They are really, really quick at eating compost, and they actually outcompete the worm farms. They can eat about 0.5 gram of organic matter per day. They also could be the next superfood of the 21st century because they're 45% crude protein and quite nutritious. So we could feed them to our livestock or our pets and still give them a nutritious meal at the same time. Studies have actually shown that chickens prefer the taste of black soldier fly larvae, and they actually grow 15% larger. When I'm usually at a dinner party and people ask what I do, I start out saying I'm an entomologist. And then once they know what that is, I start divulging a little bit more information that I specialize in flies. And then if I really want to hook them, I tell them that in a world without flies, there would be no chocolate. And this is because the only known pollinator of the cocoa plant is a tiny little midge fly, about the size of a pinhead, and it's the only thing small enough to crawl through the flower in order to get a drink of nectar. And in doing so, its hairs get covered in pollen. So without flies, there would be no chocolate. I'm all about getting the message of flies out there. I want to show people that they're useful and that they're really cool, and some flies are extremely beautiful, and I'm just trying to share my enthusiasm for insects with the general population.